All right, everybody, it is time for another mini-series review. I've been doing a few of those lately. Um, Ever since getting Disney Plus, I've just kind of started catching up on things. So yeah, we got Echo, which this isn't really a catch-up. This is something that just came out this week. They announced this a long time ago, and it was supposed to just be like a Disney Plus series. And then well, Marvel started going to shit. And then they announced that it was all going to be dropped on one day in January, which is not something that they have ever done before, which made things a little scarier. And then, like, there was no critics showing screeners really of it, and the embargo dropped, like, the day before. So yeah, it's kind of going into it. It was kind of but here's the thing: they showed the first trailer for it, and it just looked like the Netflix series, just kind of brutal. It said TVMA, so it kind of seemed like it was going back to its brutal roots, like it was with Daredevil and such like that. So I got more excited for this one. I did watch it all. I watched it all 5 episodes within 24 hours, essentially, really. I gotta say, I didn't hate the show. It kind of had weird opening. It does make sense later on, but it's just kind of a weird, interesting opening. The entire first episode, well, I would say half the entire first episode is just a recap of Hawkeye and Echo's place in Hawkeye. Like, there's literally just scenes from Hawkeye. And I don't know if that's disappointing per se. It was nice to have the catch up. But at the same time, it's like, this is a whole episode basically being given to this. It felt weird. It felt like Marvel had no confidence. By the way, hear sound. Jester's eating a bone. But it felt like Marvel had no confidence that it's like Marvel didn't realize that we hadn't seen this character before, or thought maybe we weren't going to remember this character or something like that. Which, for the most part, I remembered everything that was recapped. So I kind of found that interesting. I guess I liked Hawkeye a lot more than a lot of people did. Hawkeye also came out back in, what, it would have been 2021, so I mean, it's been 2 years. Still, it felt a little weird, I will say that. First episode, besides that, I thought was really good. There was one of those, like, one-er fight scenes. It felt very choreographed. It felt more like they were dancing than they were fighting, which I didn't love, but I still thought it was cool. The sound design, I immediately noticed right away, was really good. Like, something that this show did really great with, and it did even better with as each episode went on, was give us moments that make us feel like we're deaf. I've met a few people that are deaf. I had a friend whose sister was deaf. He knew sign language. I also read that they actually made sure that, like, the sign language was actually, like, perfect for this. So what they're signing is 100% what they're actually saying, which, you know, that's awesome. I think that's a really great thing to have in something like this, because the buddy that I used to have, he said a lot of sign language in movies and such is not actually real sign language, which I find just depressing, because, I mean, is it really a lot to have someone come on set and teach people sign language? Maybe it is, I don't know. So yeah, that first episode, it was all recap essentially, but there was that one interesting fight where a certain someone shows up. I won't spoil it, but there is a cameo that was good. Second episode, there's a train heist kind of thing going on with it. There was some really bad visual effects in there, and it was very dark. You couldn't tell what was going on. That was a bit annoying, but still an interesting fun episode. What is the name of the one character that I really liked? Potatoes or Burgers or something? I can't remember, but he's a great character. I love the humor that he had with this. It was wonderful. I really enjoyed that character. Like I said, there's some really great humor, particularly with that character. Third episode, that was the one where they were in that skate arena place, and there was really cool sequence in like the laser tag. Some really cool sequences actually inside the skate arena that I really enjoyed, and that's really where some of the violence came in. That was a little crazy and definitely MA kind of material. Again, there was kind of like another like oneer fight, sort of. It wasn't very really oneer. It cut quite a bit actually. What I loved about it is they're using like arcade games, and she's like using arcade games. They're using arcade games, you know, like she did something particular with the wired guns that I loved. I thought that was a really cool sequence as well. D'Onofrio as Kingpin was great in this. I found him great. I wanted a little bit. Excuse me. I wanted a little bit more of him. But at the same time, it's Echo's show, and there is just a perfect amount of Kingpin, in my opinion, in this. Season 4. What happened in season 4? They kind of all blended together for me. Season 4. That's when we got kind of like the re-teaming, not re-teaming, but the reunion of Kingpin and Echo, and just some of those moments with Vincent D'Onofrio are just really great. And then the last episode, I'm not gonna lie, the kind of like ending of it was slightly disappointing in a sense. I did like that the whole family kind of was like, woo, we have powers kind of thing. That was kind of cool, how it's like a super powered family. That was interesting. That was really cool. Then she just kind of like plays with Kingpin's mind, which is cool in a sense. But I just thought that scene was kind of edited weird. Like, Kingpin's like, what did you do? And then he's getting into a car. And I was just like, I feel like there was more to that than we actually got. It was just edited a little weird in my opinion. Oh my god. Oh, I'm tired. So yeah, I didn't hate it. Yeah, and then, like the ending as a whole, I really enjoyed it. I like the sense of this. Something that I think, and it seemed like at the end credits it said something too, was just like the culture with the Native Americans and such like that. It felt very real. It felt like they cared about it. And it was funny. As I was watching this, I'm like, it feels like that culture was more representative and cared about and shown in here more than it was in like Killers of the Flower Moon, which claimed that they spend all this time, being respectful to them and blah, blah, blah. But it just didn't feel like it that much in Killers of the Flower Moon. It was very much about the two white people, Leo and De Niro's character. So I just found that interesting that like I found this more culturally like showing of the culture and talking about the culture and such than like Killer's Flower Moon and such. So that was really interesting as well. Yeah, and I liked that we saw that with her family and such. I thought that was really cool. And I just like that we have a deaf superhero. I just think that's really cool. And just there was that one particular scene where D'Onofrio's just screaming and yelling, and she hears none of it. And what an awesome, effective scene. I thought it was really great. In the end, I didn't hate this show. Is it the greatest show ever? Is it the greatest Marvel show ever? No. Is it better than Loki? God, no. Is it better than WandaVision? God, no. Is it better than Falcon Winter Soldier? I wouldn't say that. Better than, I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. I might even say it's better than Miss Marvel. It has more of a story. I like Miss Marvel, though, too. I don't know. I'd put it up there with Miss Marvel and Moon Knight. Moon Knight had such a terrible ending. I don't think this was a terrible ending. I thought it was effective. But, yeah, I enjoyed this show for what it was. Call me crazy. Am I ever going to feel the need to rewatch it? I don't know about that. But there was some interesting stuff in there, and just Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin is great. Like, I thought he was wonderful in this. I really did. Yeah. And I gotta say, I've only watched like the first season of Netflix's Daredevil. I think it's on Disney Plus now, so maybe that's something I'm gonna have to start watching now, since it does technically kind of tie into all this now. Oh my god! I'm not even gonna bother bringing that back up. That's annoying. I'm not gonna bother bringing that back up, but yeah, I really enjoyed this show. I don't know why Disney seemed to be so scared of it. I don't know if it's because it's their first rated R thing. I don't know. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this show. I thought there was some really cool stuff in here. The choreography with the fighting was a little iffy, but I think Echo is a really interesting character. She comes from such a past, and she has these disabilities that just make her more interesting, more cool. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'll go 7 out of 10. I really enjoyed this. Call me crazy, I don't know. I really enjoyed it. But yeah, 7 out of 10. I really enjoyed this. So as far as reviews and such go, so let's see. This is coming out on Friday. Saturday, I think I'm gonna have it'll be a later review of Mean Girls Up, the musical movie. Maybe Sunday I will get my top 10 worst of the year out. Monday, have another review of some kind. I'm actually starting to watch the Ted series. I absolutely love Ted, so I gotta watch the Ted series, talk about Ted. There's a couple other series that I really want to watch, a couple movies I need to watch, and then my top 10 of the year, I also have to do that, and I'm still... Part of the reason why I haven't gotten it out yet is I'm just fighting to figure out what I want on there. It's been a really interesting year of movies, and I gotta say, there's like movies in my later 5 that I'm like, this doesn't necessarily need to be on my list, but there's no other movies I want on my list. So I'm just trying to figure things out. I'm stalling a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. But guess what? They just started voting for the Oscars, so I can be a little late in my top 10. It's not even late, technically, because movies come out late sometimes, and that's what happens. I mean, I just watched my review for Origin came up yesterday, and that was a 2023 movie technically, but I'm just seeing it for the first time as a Regal Mystery Movie Monday, which that movie was kind of eh. But yeah, I don't even know how I got on that subject. But anyways, guys, I hope that you check out Echo, because I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think I would like to see more Marvel stuff like this. Tell me if I'm crazy. I need to go to bed, because clearly I'm tired. So, I'm going to do that. I hope you guys have a great night. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye.